So here's a video on how I did my wing foil board in Blender. First thing I'm going to do is go to Edit, Preferences, and Add-ons, and then make sure that my add-ons are enabled. There's a bunch of them, but these are the ones that I have enabled right now. Next thing I'm going to do is set my measurements, my units. So I go to units, I want to change that to imperial, and I want to change it to inches. Next I want to get rid of this cube, so I'm going to right click, go down to delete. Now I'm going to add a cylinder, so I go to add, and I go to mesh, and I go to cylinder, and now I can press N, and then I can set the dimensions. So I can set this to, I'll set it to 60, I'll set the width to 24, and I'll set the depth to, say, 5 inches. And I use the scroll button on the mouse to zoom in, and you can use this to rotate your object. So next I'm going to start editing the object. So what I'll do is I'll just scroll this around, zoom in a bit, and I'm going to select, I'm going to go to edit mode, and then I'm going to click there, and I'm going to highlight these faces that I want to remove. Oops, sorry. I have to click on the faces button and hold down the shift key, and I can select multiple faces. Once I do that, then I can right click and delete faces. Now what I want to do is draw a line across here and across the top, and I'm going to cut those two pieces off. So I will go to the point tool, and I'm going to click, I'll need this knife tool, and I click there and there, press enter, and I do the same on the bottom. And then now what I can do is I can go back up to faces and the selection tool and select that face and delete them. Now I want to fill that in. Right now there's no face there, so what I'm going to do is selection tool, I'm going to select the line, and then I'm going to choose the 4 sides of the box. Hold down the shift key. Oops, something's wrong there, sorry. Hold down the shift key, and I'll get rid of that one. Shift key, clicking with the left mouse button. Now once that's all selected, I can go to fill. I want to get rid of that line because it's a pain, so I'll go to, I'll just select it and then right click, and I can just dissolve that edge. There we go. So now what I can do is I can grab this line and I can move it up. So I'll grab onto the blue arrow, which is the Z axis, and I can just bring it up. And so there's something I want to do before that I should have done before I moved this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Control Z, so that gets undone, and then what I'm going to do is use the loop cutter tool, And I'm going to add a couple of these in. Now what I can do is I can use the selection tool. Now I can bring this up if I want. So I'll choose the move tool, grab the blue arrow and pull it up. I can do the same with this one here. Pull that up, and I'm going to grab this one and pull it up a little more. So there we go. Now I'm going to use the face, select the face, bottom of the board, and I'm going to resize it. And I'm going to resize it in the y-axis, which is green. So if I pull, you can see how it moves. So I'm going to bring it in. And so I'll leave it like that. So I'm going to use the loop cutter tool again. So I'll select it, and I want to put another one right up here. And then I'm going to grab the face. So I select face and the selection tool. And I'm going to scale this one as well in the y-axis to bring in the sides. So this is what it looks like now. So now I'll add the rocker. So I'll go to the bottom of the board, and I'm going to use the knife tool, this one here, and I'll select this point and that point, and press enter. Now I can go to the face, select this face, and I can rotate it. So I'll go to, where is it? This tool here, transform. And here you can do all kinds of things. You can rotate, you can move, all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to rotate it on the y-axis. And then I'm going to move it up. Okay, so now I'll taper the front of the board. I don't know if there's a better way of doing it. The only way that I've been doing it is just grabbing each of the points and moving them. So I'll select point, and I can grab one and use move to move it up. And grab the other one, move it up. I'll grab these two, shift and select, and move those up. Oh, see, I didn't choose the blue line, so I'm going to have to do Control Z to undo that, and then make sure that the cursor is on the blue line, so when I move it, it's going to stay in the Z axis. And I just keep doing that. So once I got the shape I want, then what I can do is I can go to object mode, and I can right click and I can shade smooth. And so if you want to check the volume, what you do is you go down to this 3D print and you can click on volume, and there it is there in inches cubed. So you have to convert that to liters. What else can I show you? Export, you can export it to an STL. If you can find a 3D printer big enough. There's other formats. There's also a paper. Let me see, file, export, paper model. So you can export it to a paper model, and what that does is it actually gives you like a paper model that you can put together. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that to create my templates, and I'll just make sure that the paper size is big enough to come out of a plotter at full size. Anyways, I think that's it. Thanks.